Eloise has been cheating on her husband with her driver, and today her secret is going to be exposed.
She used to be a loyal and faithful wife. But why did she suddenly start cheating?
Her husband had hired a personal driver for her, but slowly she fell for him. She fell for his companionship, friendship, and touch. She longed for him every second.
She told herself this would be the last time. She just wanted to have one last kiss, but then her husband walked in.
We can explain! Explain! I see what's happening. So you have been cheating on me after everything I did for you. And how could you lease to me? How could you do this to me? How could you? I loved you, Eloise.
You keep saying everything you did for me as if love is a ledger, Nathaniel. You didn't rescue me. You arranged me. You placed me in this house.
You killed this marriage first, Nathaniel. Not with cruelty, with absence, with neglect of the empty chairs and missed dinners and beautiful apologies that arrived after the damage was already done.
The Ashworth estate was the kind of place that made people lower their voices without knowing why. A house too beautiful to call welcoming, too old to feel innocent, and too full of silence to trust. Inside, the house held itself like a memory that refused to die. Polished wood, dead eyes, and gilded frames, and the kind of quiet that made even beauty feel like surveillance.
And here is Nathaniel Ashworth, the owner of this dynasty, the most sought-out bachelor in the city. But what does it look like to be married to him?
Some secrets do not stay hidden forever. They wait. And when they rise, they ask a price from everyone in the room.
What a breathtaking venue. It really is. The flowers are stunning.
And the chandeliers. Shall we toast?
To a wonderful evening. Cheers to that.
Nathaniel Ashworth knew how to occupy a room without belonging to it. He had perfected the posture of presence and the practice of emotional absence.
His mom wanted him to marry a woman of her choice. To her, it was all about strategic arrangements.
He had spent years mastering obedience without surrender.
She's not what I'm looking for.
You're not looking for anything, Nathaniel. That is exactly the problem.
Then he saw her. A woman who had forgotten she was being watched, and because of that, became impossible to stop watching.
He saw her and instantly fell in love with her.
Who is that?
Across a room full of people built for attention, she became the only thing his eyes would hold.
4 days later, he invited her into a room designed for serious decisions and dressed the evening as dinner.
She had dressed carefully, breathed deeply, and walked in determined not to look as uncertain as she felt.
I'm sorry I'm late. I told myself I wouldn't arrive flustered, and apparently life took that as a challenge.
You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you. You look quite handsome yourself.
It's great to finally do this.
It is. I'm really glad we're here.
You paint.
I teach people to paint. There's a difference. One is art, the other is explaining every Tuesday and Thursday why a terrified 12-year-old should believe they're allowed to make a mess.
It was not much, but for a man like Nathaniel, almost smiling was already a form of surrender.
Even though he is in love with her, he was more interested in her craft, in her art. Yes, that mattered more to him, so he made a proposal to invest.
He'll fund the studio for 5 years. My sins keep their space no matter what happens between us.
That part is not negotiable. That's a long-term commitment.
It's necessary.
Yes.
Then I suppose we have a deal.
The tension grew between them and they kissed. It was such a blissful moment.
On the morning she married him, she stood above a room full of strangers and made a private decision that would cost more than she knew.
Do you take this person?
I do.
There were moments in the beginning that looked like closeness from a distance. Small moments she fed on because they were all she had.
The night after their wedding, reality set it. Loneliness set in. She woke up to a beautifully served breakfast, but where is her husband?
Her husband Nathaniel had left for a business trip before she even woke up. She had imagined having a blissful honeymoon with her husband, but that didn't happen. She left her food untouched, feeling sad.
Whenever Nathaniel returned from his endless trips, he would stand outside watching her while she paints. He felt that was enough way to show love and companionship.
I started a new series, Paintings of the Garden Through the Seasons. I thought maybe we could hang them in the East Corridor.
Sounds nice, Eloise.
Then she stopped trying to make it easy for him.
Do you know what today is?
It's our anniversary, Nathaniel.
I'll make it up to you.
She had heard the promise before, enough times that it no longer sounded like hope, just maintenance.
You always say that.
That was how he said sorry. Not with presents, not with listening, but with objects beautiful enough to distract from the fact that they had no pulse. The bed was built to hold two people. The life was built to impress the world. But every night she lay in both and felt herself shrinking inside them. He did not know her favorite color. That truth sat heavier in her than any diamond ever could.
Eloise likes going out a lot, as that's the only way to distract herself, so her husband decided to hire a personal driver for her. His name was Nathaniel.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I refuse to be defeated by fruit today.
I have it.
You really don't. But I admire the commitment.
It was the first real laugh she had heard come out of herself in a while. Not polished, not necessary, just hers.
Nathaniel was more than a common driver. He was a very thoughtful person. He noticed every little thing that Eloise liked and started doing them for her.
He remembered she never ate in the morning. He did not mention it. He simply made room for her need before she had to name it again.
Some moments do not announce themselves as turning points. They pass like glances and still divide a life into before and after.
She did not break apart in front of him. She did something lonelier. She held herself together where he could hear it.
Does it bother you? Waiting, I mean. Standing outside people's lives all day while they go in and live them.
Not always. It's part of the job.
He answered like a man who had made peace with seeing more than people realized.
It used to bother me. I thought waiting meant I wasn't the one the story was happening to.
Then he said the kind of thing that only lands if it's true.
Then I noticed the people in the back are usually the most interesting ones. They're just also the ones most likely to look out the window like they're already halfway gone.
Her pencil stopped. Not because the landscape was empty, because something inside her had just filled up with a truth she was not ready to draw.
The library was one of the only places in the house where she looked inhabited instead of displayed.
I won't be home until Saturday. The Tokyo deal needs more time.
That's the third week in a row.
The promise that followed had lost all meaning from overuse.
I know. I'll make it up to you.
You always say that.
Then she did the thing lonely people do when they already know the answer to their own restraint. She reached for the person who made the silence feel less empty. In that kitchen, honesty sounded almost gentle.
I used to think loneliness was being alone.
It isn't. Loneliness is when someone has full access to you and still never really arrives.
He said exactly the kind of thing she had been starving to hear from someone who meant it. That sounds like something you learned the hard way.
I think most people are terraced and ask for honesty. Comfort asks for nothing.
They still hadn't touched. But by then, the distance between touch and intimacy had already collapsed.
I'm not thinking about the way you keep my world from spinning. I'm just thinking about your eyes. Just don't know if I've been faking or pretending, but I know I never felt so alive. I don't know if I believe the information given. There was someone by your side.
They couldn't hold the tension anymore, and then they kissed. She knew it was wrong, but she couldn't stop. She has been longing
What
for a
Eloise did
man's
not
touch.
know was that Nathaniel had long since built compartments of his own. In Paris, he wore the same posture he wore everywhere else: control as character, compartmentalization as morality.
I'm so happy we're here.
Me too. Paris is perfect with you.
To us.
To us.
I love this view.
I love you.
Then Eloise's call came in. He never picked. He said he was going to apologize as usual. He put his phone on silent.
We fight the unknown on a journey back home. What's waiting?
Days later, he took the next available flight home. On his way, he had already planned to apologize to Eloise as usual, but little did he know a surprise was waiting for him.
Nathaniel, we have to stop this. It is very wrong.
Eloise, I love you so much. Your husband doesn't even care about you. Please, Eloise.
Please, it's not what you think!
We can explain! Explain! I see what's happening. So you have been cheating on me after everything I did for you. And how could you lease to me? How could you do this to me? How could you? I loved you, Eloise.
You want the truth? I have been lonely beside you for so long that even being looked at started to feel like mercy. You didn't rescue me. You arranged me. You placed me in this house, put your name on my life, covered the emptiness in expensive things, and called that devotion.
He felt shame and numbness on hearing her reasons because he knows she was actually saying the truth.
She was not denying the life he had built around her. She was naming what it lacked.
You gave me the house, the studio, the money, the life people envy from outside. I know that.
Then she named the absence at the center of everything.
But you never gave me you. I didn't need the necklace. I needed an Alban who could sit beside me, look at me, and stay.
For the first time, he heard the specific shape of his own failure and had no argument left that could survive it. He began with the fact that could no longer be hidden.
I was in Paris 3 weeks ago. It wasn't all work. There's someone. Camille.
He could still have softened it. Instead, for once, he didn't.
I could tell you it was nothing. But that would be another lie, and I think we've both had enough of those.
Learning that her husband has been cheating for 3 years really broke her. Now she understands the reason for his absence. She knew there was no point remaining in the marriage.
They both apologized to each other and decided they were going to get a divorce to be with people they actually love.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Sometimes a life breaks in one explosive night. Sometimes it ends with a hand steady enough to sign its name and let go. In the end, she asked for space, and inside that space, with no pearls and no performance, she found the shape of herself again. Not healed in some perfect cinematic way, not untouched, just present, and for the first time in a long time, fully her own.
Across the city, Nathaniel sat inside the life he had mastered and discovered mastery was useless against loss. She had painted it in the first month of their marriage, a small, warm thing made with no agenda, which was perhaps why he had kept it. Some people understand love in time to live inside it. Others understand it only after it has left the room and taken the future with it.
Some people are loved for who they are, some for what they represent. The cruelest thing is not knowing the difference until it is too late to do anything with the truth.
I'm not thinking about the way you keep my world from spinning. I'm just thinking about your eye. Just don't know if I've been faking or pretending, but I know I never felt so damn alive.